Hi, everyone. Welcome to this training session. I'm Daniel. I'm your account manager. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm looking forward to walking you through the system in this new version of a new session of our training session. We will have another one in 2 months from now on the 25th. So 29th, no, 22nd, I'm sorry. So on the 22nd, we'll have another training session. It will be at the same time. We're going to wait a few minutes to start at 3 p.m. Eastern time sharp. I'm going to start presenting my screen here. And in a few minutes, we're going to get started. And in this training session, we're going to address any questions that you may have that you have sent in the previous weeks, and we're gonna address the dedicated groups. That is the main objective of this live training session. We're gonna walk over the dedicated groups, how you can manage the board, the committees, your managers, how you can make better use of the system and provide more value to your associations, to your HOAs, COAs, with the management of the groups, both formal and informal groups. All right. So this training session is scheduled to be of 45 minutes. We're going to dedicate 30 minutes to walk over the dedicated groups in the system, and then we're going to have 15 minutes for any Q&A. And please take a seat. Welcome to the training session for the people just joining. I see here some people are starting to join. We're going to start in 1 minute at 3 p.m. sharp. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm Daniel, your account manager. And please know that your microphone and camera have been automatically disabled. And we're going to start at 3 p.m. If you like, you can send us your questions in the Q&A section as well as in the chat. So please feel free to reach out, and we're going to address any and all questions at the end of this 30-minute period. We're going to dedicate 15 minutes to just the Q&A. All right, so we are 3 p.m. sharp. We're going to get started with this. Well, first of all, thank you, everyone. I'm Daniel. I'm your account manager. As everyone knows, your camera and audio are off. You can interact with us by raising your hand, writing in the chat and the Q&A session, please. I'm Daniel. I'm a Bolivian business graduate, and I've been part of customer success team of Neigbrs by Vinteum since 2021. And I'm the main point of contact with all of our clients. I'm the account manager for them all, and I'll be more than happy to provide any assistance that you, the board, committees might need. So please, I'm your guy. Feel free to give me a call, send me an email, or write in our live chat. Most of the times when you're writing in our live chat, you're talking directly to me. So you don't need to re-explain everything that you're having. You have one dedicated manager that knows everything about you. So please feel free to reach out. Well, what can you expect on this training session? As I mentioned before, we're going to dedicate this training session to the groups. Those groups can be formal or informal, like the board, a committee, book club, pet owners, managers, assistant managers, etc. It's very normal for an association to have different groups or different stakeholders interacting around, right? So we're going to address that in this meeting. I'm going to provide some tips on how you can make best use of the system. And again, we're going to dedicate 15 minutes to just the Q&A. Moving forward, I wanted to take a few minutes to just go over the basic on how you can roll out the system, and roll out also include promoting engagement, right? So as we always go through, please remember to be clear. Everything regarding technology, especially when dealing with elderly residents, clients that may not be that tech savvy, the clearer you are, the better, right? Please collect residents' information. Access to the system is based on email invitation. So having the most recent email address is crucial so that resident can actually log in. And we always recommend our clients to base their efforts in three pillars that are patience, persistence, and repetition. With these three pillars, you can ensure the rollout be as successful as possible. You will need a lot of patience, a lot of persistence, and a lot of repetition in order to get your board, to get your residents slowly but surely getting engaged with the system and start to see the system as as a community hub for anything and everything that they might need with the community. Of course, invite residents. We also have an update on this that will make the invitation process a lot easier because it takes off the weight of the responsibility for the administrators. You want to address that in small detail at the end of this meeting. And of course, being consistent. All right. So we're gonna move forward here. And how we can help, you're always welcome to reach us via email, chat, phone. You can set up a meeting. I'm always welcome. I'm always happy to meet with any board, anyone. I can also provide some custom materials like videos and manuals. You're always you're always welcome to reach out to our help center, explore our help center, as well as our YouTube channel. We have plenty of support materials waiting for you. So please feel free to give it a try. And now we're gonna start with a Neigbrs walkthrough. And we're gonna start on your public-facing website. Of course, this is only for the access. Everyone should be familiar right now that access to the system is controlled and it starts with your public-facing website. The most important part of the entire website is this button right here, Access Your Community. In this training session, I won't dwell on the public-facing website because we already went through that in other live training sessions, which are already in our YouTube channel. So please, if you're curious about that, go to our YouTube channel, explore around, and you will find the recordings. All right. In this meeting, we're going to jump through this page. We're going to just mention this over for the login. Please note that in order for you to log in, you can access your website that we provided you, click on Access Your Community, and log in to your account. When you when you click on Access Your Community, it will open up your login page, of course. We also have our general login page. You can use your community's own login page, which of course will have a better user experience as you have it customized. You can have your own background picture, your own logo. It will be very obvious that it's coming from your community. However, if you prefer, you can also use our general login page. This works for all clients and is not specific to anyone, right? However, this can help provide access to the staff, concierge, board members as well. It's completely up to you, all right? So just summing it up, access to your system, to your account, it starts on your public-facing website. You can click on Access Your Community, open your login page and log in, or you can use our general login page. That is this one right here, all right? And of course, we can also share this with you if you wish, all right? Now, we're going to start jumping into the system as a board member, one of the profiles that I imagine most of our clients are using, as it allows them to control and delegate responsibilities with their fellow board members, right, on the board. Keep in mind that board member, as well as manager, administrator, concierge, and all the different profiles that I'm about to explain and about to mention, all of them are controlled by you, by the master administrators. What I mean with this is that the board is in absolute control over the user experience. You can control what you want the board members to do and see. And the same goes with the managers, staff, etc. You are in control. And I'll show you how in a bit, of course. We're going to start with the board member profile. The board member profile is one of the most popular, of course, and you can control everything that it can do. By default, it can do everything that I'm about to show you. It can go to home, dashboard. It can be up to date with all the notices that you have created, all the social network, etc. And you can also base your communication on those groups, not only a board member, but on any other profile to fit your needs, of course. It can be manager, concierge, etc. And the most powerful communication tool is with notices. So I will suggest you to consider sending mass communication, meaning sending notices based on a specific profiles or a specific groups, right? If you come here and you click on profiles, you can, for instance, send this notice only to the board members or only to the staff, only to the administrators or specific profiles. This means that only the people added to those profiles will be emailed and receive, will be emailed and notified about that notice and will see it when they log in. No one else. No residents, for instance. So, and the same thing applies with managers and assistant managers. So notices is one of the most powerful communications, so the board can direct or provide instructions to your manager, to the property managing company, or to their team, etc. You can have one post that says, hey, this is what was decided in our latest meeting. Please, manager X, do the following, and only them will see it when they log in. Another way of formalizing communications, requests, etc., with the different parties involved on your community. Remember, the notices is a top-down communication feature. They won't be able to reply. If you want them to reply, that is with social network and different areas, right? Then we're gonna go over the different features here in which you can control and use the different dedicated groups. But well, what are or what could be the dedicated groups? As we mentioned, and we are right now as a board member, one of those dedicated groups could be the board itself, right? It could also be any informal groups, like, for instance, pet owners, etc. Pet owners, ladies of the lake, any kind of book club, and that all of that can be controlled and seen right through here. If you go to the system, you will be able to create different groups. For instance, right now, we can click here on the profile and we can change and move between the different profiles, which also allows you to better control these dedicated groups. You can make changes to the board member, to the manager, to the resident profile as a master administrator, and then change back to those profiles to see how those changes are affecting you and if you like them or not. For instance, you can come here to contact group and create different groups for any kind of objective that you have. For instance, we can have the board of this year, the architectural control committee, the ladies of the lake, etc. And then it's very easy for you to just to come here, edit, see the participants of this group, add and remove them as they are changed, other elections, etc. And only the members of those groups can and will be able to message that group itself. This means that this feature, contact group, also allows for group communication. So if there is any decision the architectural control committee needs to make and they want to talk it out between themselves, they can, any of those members can come here to the neighbor hub, go to chat, click on the green plus button, and create a new group message to any of the groups that they belong. As you can see here, they will be able to see and message that group, and all the members of that group will be notified and can reply. Again, group communication, right? In order to make this live, to make the interaction easier for you. I see here that we already have one question joining. Lisa, thank you very much for sending that question over. We're going to address that question at the end of this first part. But well, we're talking about the dedicated groups and how people can be added. One update that is very important is that now you can add people to groups without them needing to have an account created. This is a very important update because it allows you to create the groups even before the residents or the members of that group created their passwords, right? So you can just come here right now, click on the green plus button, create a brand new name, and add anyone of your residents, even if they don't have an active account. When they activate their account and finally create their passwords and that's and everything, when they log in, they will see that group waiting for them right there and there. All right, so this allows you to have more fluid, dedicated group communication. We mentioned how you can send notices based on profiles and contact group. You can also control documents based on that. That is very important. For instance, if you only want your security personnel, for instance, to access specific files, or the pet owners, etc., you can control that under your document section. That is a very powerful tool that you can have so that you control visibility and access to specific resources. Of course, not all files inside a community are or should be visible to everyone. And this allows you to do that much easily. You can control the visibility of a file or a folder, both of them, by a number of ways. By clicking here on edit, for instance, in this survey template, you can see the file visible too. And this is where you control the visibility of that specific file or folder. You can control both of them. Please remember that. For instance, if you want this file or this folder to be only accessible to a contact group, you will just select that and choose what contact group you want them to to provide access to: the board member, architectural control committee, etc., etc. You can also notify and create different options here. So let's say that you are uploading a very important document, a minute, agenda, something. You can notify participants when you're uploading that file, as well as after it was uploaded. So please, you do that by clicking here on this notify bell icon after it's been uploaded. And when you are uploading a new file, you can also control and send notifications to everyone in this target audience. This allows you to very easily communicate to everyone where that specific file is located. All right, this is a very useful tool. Please feel free to give it a try. You also are able to add a due date, as you can see here, and this involves decisions. It doesn't limit in any way access to the system. It will just trigger a reminder of the due date, because it will say, hey, we have this document that's something needed to be decided on. Please give it a look before this due date, right? So again, for board management, for tasks regarding delegation of responsibilities, this is very useful. And of course, you can enable a public URL so you can access that specific file. For instance, this newsletter template, you can click on this icon and then place it anywhere you can think of. So you can access that same newsletter, that same document anywhere. From the system, from the website, from notices, you will be able to paste this same link and access that same document. All right, so please give it a try. And another way I would like to mention on how you can improve usage of the document section is with the document type. A number of our clients just use the example ones and never go ahead and create their own. However, this is a very useful tool in order that helps you facilitate navigation of documents by residents. Let me explain. And you can see here on document type, you can create as many document types as you like, and they can be about whatever item that you need. For instance, meeting minutes, neighbors, rules and regulations, fees, etc. You will see that in each active document type, you can also add tags. However, you don't need to. Those are additional, and I'm going to go into them in a minute. What I want you to understand is the document type is a way for you to facilitate navigation, because it allows you to add a file as a specific document type. Like you can see here, general, text. This, for instance, we can come here on general, and we can change this document type at any moment just to help your residents find it. For instance, maybe this is our ARC request. If it is an ARC request, you can add the tags about additional informational fields, like was a decision taken regarding this ARC request? Yes, no, etc. And you can just click here on save. After that's done, as you can see, now it's pretty obvious that this file is related to the ARC request. So residents can come into their system, and instead of exploring around and clicking all the different folders that you might have available, instead of, maybe getting confused in doing that, they can just come here on document type, look for whatever type of document they want to know about. They want to know about the ARC requests that haven't made a decision yet. Apply filter, and you will see that particular file or any other, as well as their folder path where those are located. Again, this is a very powerful way in which you can make the user experience easier for your residents and for the board, of course. The bigger the community, the more documents you'll have, the more complexity they might end up with. So you can use the document type and the tag to add depth to the document storage, right? I just wanted to mention that over because it's very, very useful, especially with dedicated groups. Remember that you can control the documents based on profiles as well as on contact groups, formal or informal. So please give it a try. And if you have any questions, let me know. You can write to our live chat as an administrator by clicking here on this orange bubble. If you click on this orange bubble, you can look for articles, for instance, on the document section. What are document tags? What are document types? What I just explored. You don't need to remember anything. Everything that I just went through is also explained in this document on our help center. So please give it a try and let me know if you have any questions. Oh, if you want to write me, you can just submit a message or start a live chat if I'm available at that moment. If I'm not, of course, I will try to get back to you as soon as I'm able. But well, we went over the communications, we went over notices, documents. Please remember that you can also control your community calendar based on those profiles. So if you want to meet with the manager team, the management team, with a board meeting, or just a get-together, you can all have that here. I strongly recommend everyone to use the calendar, the events calendar, to have all their activities, formal and informal, straight up and in a clear, transparent way here for residents. That will help you a lot in getting engagement. Our resident will want to know what if they're having get-together, any parties coming back, any events, and little by little, we'll start to see this calendar as a community hub. Anything that they know that is going to set or take place in the community, they can find out right here. So please, persistence, repetition, patience. Those three pillars apply to everything that I'm telling you right now. The more the board takes the lead, the more engagement and more value you will end up providing to your residents. But well, moving forward, I wanted to change back my profile here and address the different profiles here, board member and manager, especially board member and manager, because they're the most common ones. And you can see that here they have the talk to managers, which is very, very important and a powerful feature, communication feature that can help you make the rollout and engagement a lot easier. The talk to features connect all residents, everyone, with everyone added to specific profiles. In the talk to manager, it connects everyone in the community with everyone added as either manager or assistant manager profiles. The talk to concierge follow the same line of thought. It connects everyone with everyone as a concierge. And the staff, the same thing. It connects all residents with everyone added to the staff profile. Remember that you are the ones, the administrators are the ones who add those people in, and you can also remove them, right? So, for instance, as a board member, you have the additional advantage to just go here and see all the messages that were sent to talk to manager, to just keep track of them, to see if the manager was actually replying to them, and to have accountability. The same thing goes to talk to concierge and talk to staff. And you can also send a message to them. Oh, yeah, a board member can reach out to talk to staff, concierge, and manager. And if we change back our profile here, instead of board member, we're going to change our profile to the manager. This is where you can also keep track of all communication that concierge and staff are providing. So as a manager, this means that the system helps you to make your job a bit easier, right? You can see all the messages that were sent, and if the member of your teams, meaning any assistant manager, any secretary, any management staff, is actually doing their job or doing the job like you want them to, right? You can see them all, keep track of them, and have accountability. Accountability is a key term in our system. We proud ourselves to provide the board with the ability for them to be in charge of everything in the community. They can see if if their work requests are being attended, and take actions regarding incident reporting, etc. Accountability is very important for us, and our system allows the board to have that accountability in all different areas. Here we go to master administrator, community management, representatives. Again, remember that master administrators can do everything, right? So here you can go ahead and also add a new board member, a new manager, or remove them if you wish. For instance, if you don't want to have someone, or if there's a board change and they're no longer part of that role, is as easy as just clicking on the trash bin icon like I'm doing now. I'll remove and then click on yes. It's that easy. From now on, that resident won't have access to those profiles anymore, nor to those documents, nor to those contact groups, nor anything like that. So you cut access from the root. Well, we are getting close to the 25-minute mark of this first 30 minutes of the walkthrough. We went over dedicated groups. We went over how you can create contact groups for any specific formal or informal group like the architectural committee, the board, how you can control and base communications on those groups, on notices, how you can have community events only for specific profiles, how you can also control the documents based on those groups and profiles. And you can also have let me see here. Yeah, you can also control the different incident reporting based on those. That depends, of course, in how you want to address those incident reportings. The incident reporting is your violation reporting tool. And this is a feature that is not used as much. However, is very powerful, and the clients who use this find it very, very valuable. This allows you and the board to keep track of all violations, which in the long term gives the board tools to make decisions, especially on violation letters. We have a number of clients, for instance, that they have this 3 strikes system. So you have your community, and somebody reported your unit out because you broke a covenant or a misbehavior or anything. Then you have 1 strike, right? And people send you a notice only to that specific group saying, hi, resident, you were reported by this and this. And you have 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, and you get a violation letter. And you can have all that back and forward in this in the system, right? You can see how many reports one specific unit has regarding what, and you can just take a closer look and make a decision. So please give it a try. This is a very powerful decision-making tool for the board. Of course, violations is always a delicate thing because it involves reporting people out and neighbors reporting other neighbors. So you can control that visibility. And all of that is controlled here. So please give it a look. If you have any questions regarding this, you also have our articles explaining all of this in detail. What I want to focus on is on the different profiles, because as you can see here, you can add anything. For instance, here we can have a covenant violations. This is just my cache. So the covenant violation, and you control, well, not covenant violation because we already have that, but let's have this no, unpoliteness or unpolite, right? Very well. Just an example, if someone is unpolite or rude, in other words, they can just come here and you control who are notified and who can see those incidents. Maybe you want the all administrators or all board members if it's something that affects everyone, right? Depending on you, depending on who you want to provide access and notification on this specific type of incident, you control that right here. And then you just click on add. All right, it's very simple. Please give it a try. If the moment you don't wish, you can just edit that over or just remove it. All right, please give it a try. And with that, we went over the different areas of the dedicated groups. Now, one thing I'd like to mention is that a person, of course, can have different profiles, as they can be in different groups. If you add someone to a group or to a profile, the next best thing you should do is to make sure that person has an active account. And that means that that person can actually log into their account and interact with the system. You do that by inviting that person over. Invitation is done right here under community management, absentee owners / residents. And this is where I'm also glad to report a new update. We introduce a system that makes the invitation and re-invitation simpler, because now you only need to invite someone once. You don't need to remember or re-inviting them 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, or just check if they have their active account yet. In our new update, you just invite them once. A new invitation will be resent automatically 2 days before that first sending that you triggered. It will also be sent automatically 4 days before, 6 days before, and so on and so forth until that person has an active account. This means that the board doesn't need to remember or to remember their team, their manager or board member or anyone to invite and re-invite residents. Just need to invite them once and they will be automatically re-invited until all of them are with active accounts. Now, if you have any questions regarding this, please feel free to explore. We have our video and an article on how you invite residents. Please give it a look. And here you can also explore our YouTube channel, of course. But well, that is everything in this 30 minutes for the walkthrough. And now we're gonna start addressing some questions. We're gonna see here. All right, we're gonna see here. We have Lisa Gibson questions, and Lisa is asking, all right, can it be set up so that members of the group don't see each other's contact info? Members of a group don't see others' contact information. Well, all contact information of everyone in the system, all residents, are inside the Neighbor Hub in the members directory. So people won't see the people, they will always be able to see the contact information of other residents. Keep in mind that they will only see what other residents allow them to see. By default, all private information of a resident is set as private, as you can see here with Jessica, everything. All right. Then Jessica or a resident can come here and choose to share any or all that information. Let me show you. I'm going to change back to my resident profile here. I am now seeing the resident as the system as a resident. Sorry. I'm going to click here on profile and click on settings. This is how, as a resident, I can decide to share any of my private information to other residents. All right, addressing your question, and also trying to accomplish other objectives. So, our resident will always be able to see the director, like the Neighbor Hub in the directory. However, they will only see what other people allow them to see. And If a resident decides to share all their information, then and only then it will be visible. All right. And let me see that here. Oh, no problem. No problem. Listen. And well, if you are concerned about the members of a group seeing other members on the email, you don't need to be concerned about that as well, because all of our emails come from one specific email address, no reply at Vinteum Neighbors. What I mean with that is that when you send a contact group email, you won't see all the destinataries of that email on the email itself, like the additional contacts, right? You won't get that. So residents won't see that. Don't need to worry about that if that is what caused that question. All right. All right. So that is the only question that we had on the Q&A. Let me, yep. If someone has any questions, please feel free to reach out. We also have two questions that are reached out before this meeting started. One is from Mary Spivak. Mary, thank you very much for sending that over. And she's asking if invitations have an expiration date, quote unquote. They don't. All right, they don't. Residents can be invited and reinvited, as I already mentioned, and they can click on any of those links and it will be the same link. Only if a resident creates his password and that resident is deleted, removed improperly, so without following our article on what to do when people move out, meaning that he was removed and you wanted to re-add him, only then the system will try to link that new password, right? So in that situation, you can just reach out to us and we can remove his old password and provide him a new one and resend him that invitation. All right, I believe that is where that question originated. It might be that someone of your community, like an administrator or someone, was added, was invited, they created their password, and then they were removed and re-added and tried to be re-invited. That might have caused that expiration, that link that you were asking about, right? To make it seem like it expired, but it doesn't. Please rest assured that all our invitation links do not expire. All right. And then we have Robin Brennan that asked about how you can sort columns, both in your units and on documents, I imagine. Let me walk you over that as well. First, we're going to go over the document section. In the document section, as you can see by clearing the filter, you will see all the folders as well as the lost files. The folders and everything here in documents are structured in the following way. They follow a numerical order followed by an alphabetical order. This means that if you want to make one folder, for instance, this system help or any other, go all the way up to the top, the easiest way will be to just add one dot space or just one, whatever number, and click on save. What that will do is that it will popping up all the way around here. All right. That is, like I mentioned, it follows a numerical order, then an alphabetical order. It goes to 1 and then to B. All right. You can also change this the sorting by clicking here on the data modification, remembering that you can also control this. So if you upload a document and that document is from 2015, but you're uploading it now, you can reflect that date here and you can choose that. Click on data modification and you can see it ascending or descending depending on that. All right. All right. And Joan asked a question regarding the settings. The settings of the residence are controlled from the dashboard, from here, not sorry, from the desktop in the system. At the moment, residents are not able to control their settings here from the app. but that is something that we're trying to work on and implementing. However, residents will be able to control the notification settings, but not their privacy settings. In the new app, which will be introduced in September, we are allowing residents to control their notifications app. However, their privacy settings is a very data-heavy setting. So at the moment, it can only be done on the desktop, addressing the question that Joan just sent over the Q&A. Right, so Joan, thank you very much for sending that over. And I hope I was able to address your question. Going back to sorting columns, we talk about the documents and how it can be sorted out and what order they follow. And I also wanted to mention one very useful tool that not all residents use, that is the unit tag. The unit tag can be activated under community management property details. And what it allows you to do, in essence, is to have one additional column here to manage all of your units, houses, as well as to find a specific residence. For instance, we have clients that manage their location based on the unit number and on the lot number, right? So you can keep track of both of them by using the unit tag. If you want to try it out, you go to community management, property details, and there you can enable the unit tag. Click on save. And then when you go to unit/houses, you will see a new column there waiting for you called unit tag. And you can add any information to that unit tag here, which you can also search for, right? It can be the lot number, it can be mailing address, whatever you like, so you can have that there. And keep in mind that you can also search for them, right? So, and that is with columns and how you can add one additional column to your units if that works for you, of course. So we have one new Q&A here, Larry. Thank you very much for writing. He says, when someone sends a message to our website, can it be forwarded to more than one email address? All right, that is a very, very good question. All right, let me address that. As a resident, you can add what we call additional emails. So in order to see that, please go to community management, unit/houses, and there you can place your mouse on top of any unit and then click on the pencil icon to access that unit and to see the records or the information of the residents inside of there. For instance, here I can see myself. And right on this area, we have these icons. The first one being the additional emails. And this is where I can address your question. This is your forwarding email list. So if you want to receive copies of the emails that you receive on your login email, maybe on your work email or your personal email, or you want to keep any of your family or friends on the loop of everything happening to your unit, you can add them here as additional emails. These are not login emails. I want to make that very clear, please. These are additional emails which will receive copies of emails that you have received first. So they're just forwarding them, right? And they are not login emails. So if you add your kid or your son's email here, that person won't be able to log in because it doesn't have a record assigned to it. It's just an additional email, not a login. But addressing your question, this is how you can have that over. So you can add the email that you want to be forwarded here and click on save. You can add as many as you like together with the emergency contacts. All right, so please give it a try. Well, we have that address, and I think that is all our questions. Yep, we went over them all. But unless anyone would like to have another question, I think we can close this up. I want to thank everyone for joining. The recording of this meeting will be available on our YouTube channel Again, please feel free to reach out. And going back to my presentation here, just to close up, we went over the questions and answers, and this is how you can reach out. This is my number, 844-900-0910, and you can, my extension is number 3, please. This is our website. This is my email. You're also welcome to reach out to our customer success team email, so more people are communicated, and this is our help center. I want to thank you. Oh, and please, this is our QR code. Give it a look. You'll find a lot of interesting material there. And let me know if you have any questions, please. I'm always happy to help. I'm always happy to jump into a call, a meeting, anything that you might need to make your life with our system as easy as possible. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here and close up the webinar. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.